Every January, millions of people promise themselves this year will be different. And by February, almost all of them are back to their exact same lives. But what if this time you could become a completely different person in just the span of 30 days? Not with temporary motivation or just another failed resolution, but with a real reinvention that starts by destroying the old you that has been holding you back all this time. I know because I was stuck in the same cycle for years. Shift your identity first, heal the hidden wounds, and reset your habits at their root. Welcome to Project 2026, my 4 weeks protocol to building you the life you actually want to live. Over the next 4 weeks, we're going to work on our dream life step by step, starting with week 1, where we are going to discuss mindset foundations. Then moving to week 2, where we're going to talk about how to actually craft your vision. Following along to week 3, where we are going to be talking about how to build a system that works for you and keeps you productive. And finally, by week 4, we're going to be covering how to sustain this new life without burning out. If you follow along and do the daily exercises, in 30 days from now, I'll promise you, you won't even recognize yourself anymore. In this first section, I want to be starting with habits, because everything really builds on this. Habits are not only things that you do, they are neural pathways your brain creates to save up energy. You don't think about it, you just do it. That's a habit. But unfortunately, the same things happen with, for example, scrolling for hours on your phone, procrastinating, or negative self-talk. Those 3 are habits too, most of them which are formed unconsciously. The biggest mistake people make is trying to add new habits on top of a messy foundation. It's like building a house on sand, and that's why we start with life audit. Grab a journal or open your notes app right now. Pause this video if you have to. I want you to list out your entire day. This exercise is better done in the beginning of the day. The goal of this is to create a list of everything that you're doing in that moment. And this serves us because you're tracking what our actual habits are. Because before we want to change anything, we need to know in what terms are we. So list out your entire day. Be brutally honest here. And then after a week or so doing this, or a couple of days, ask yourself, which one of these habits actually serves me and which ones just happen? Because the thing is, when you bring unconscious pattern to the spotlight, their power over you starts to weaken. And that's why this first audit is the first step to dismantling your old version. Identity shifts. Now, this is where it gets real powerful, because habits won't stick long term unless your identity supports them. Your identity is who you believe you are at the core of your being. The thing is, most people try to change their lives by chasing motivation or waiting for results. For example, I will believe in myself when I'm successful. That's completely backwards, because real change happens when you shift your identity first. I want you to think about a professional athlete. They don't force themselves to train every single day, because training is just a part of who they are, because it is a part of them. The same goes for you. If your current identity is I am someone that procrastinates, well, then you will procrastinate. Or if your current identity is I am someone that is disorganized, no amount of to-do list will fix it permanently. So how do you shift it? Again, the life audit. We want to be identifying who we are at our core. What habits do we have? And from these habits, we're going to be addressing them to our current identity. So, for example, if you spend 5 hours a day binging watching TikTok or scrolling to death on Instagram, you can already assume a certain identity from this of, for example, a procrastinator. We want to first assure and understand where we are so then later we can change who we are. And now, step two, based off this first identity, you're going to write down what your best, most perfect identity looks like. But how do you actually build this new identity and destroy your old identity? This is all about neuroplasticity, which is the ability of the brain to adapt to different stimuli. Basically, the easiest way to do this is by affirmation. And that's why affirmations are so strong, because they work at the core of who you are and they reprogram who you are. So after you create who you are, you're going to create who you want to become, and then you're going to create affirmations based off who you want to become. And then your first mission, if you really are committed to change, is you're going to repeat these affirmations daily. Every time you wake up, 3 times a day, just make a habit of it. And I promise you, you're going to see amazing results. 3 days after, even sometimes one day after, 1 week after, you're going to see amazing results. Okay, but why do we fall back even when we try not to? And that's really simple, because of unhealed wounds and limiting beliefs. These are the silent enemies. Beliefs like I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I always fail, or success isn't for people like me. They come from past experience, a big failure, rejection, trauma in general. They feel true, but it's really important that you understand that those beliefs are just stories, because healing starts with awareness. You need to understand and you need to train this skill to see your wounds, because no matter, literally, no matter how hard you work, you are never going to reach the peak of your life if you still have these noises holding you back. You still have these beliefs. Tell me, how would someone reach their goals, for example, becoming a professional singer, famous singer, songwriter that sings for millions of people, if they're still being held back by their trauma in the day that they went in front of the whole class to talk or read something, and then the whole class laughed at them, and because of that one thing, they're going to be defined for the rest of their lives? Here is a journal prompt for you. What recurring fear or doubt do I have? When did it start? How does it show up today? And challenge it. Is this actually true? Try to imagine and explore in your imagination. Even though it's hard, try to picture the day it happens and then resignify it. Give it a new meaning. For example, in the same situation of the school trauma, you will picture the you that were initially exposed to this trauma, you will picture the scene through the eyes of your old version, almost like your old version and this little you are in the same place. And then you're going to talk as your old version to this younger version of you. Say things like, this has no power over me, and it doesn't matter if they laugh at little me. When you combine habit awareness, identity shift, and healing, you create an unbreakable foundation. This week's exercise are: 1. Complete your life audit. Pick one area to improve, writing your old and new identity. 3. Create 3 to 5 affirmations based off this new identity and say them twice or 3 times a day. 4th, journal one limiting belief and challenge it. Do this and you already feel the shift. Drop in the comments down below, which identity you're shifting. Like this video if you're committed, share with someone who needs it, and I will see you in the next week for crafting your dream vision. You got this.